From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Of course, I'm at my bar at Tommy Max, and we're talking to the great people of Jacksonville. We're talking a little writing, a little speaking, and we're talking some laundromats as well. Brought to you by my friends at truckcrashlaw.com, as well as Carpet Man Flooring. Let's welcome in the panel. Debra Hayes is here from Debra Lynn LLC. Hey, Debra, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You're an author, you're a writer, of course, and you're a speaker as well. Tell us about what you're doing, please.
Well, it's not a business that I chose. It's not one that you would aspire to do, but because I've personally lost 4 children, I work with people who have faced that kind of a tragedy. And the things that they go through, everything from being mad at God to just how do I get back into life? You know, where do I find my passion again? So that's what I do. I just help people.
So you turn your own tragedies into helping others.
I did.
Through speaking, writing books. What are the books that you brought? What are they?
Okay,
what are they
the
called?
books. This one is the story of losing the children. Also, my parents, divorce, financial ruin, all of it, all that goes with that, and how I came, how I rose above it. It's just rise, what to do when hell won't back off.
I love that title.
I felt like for 10 years. If you ever played that game Whack-A-Mole, that's what my life was. Like every time I'd raise my head, I'd get knocked back down. So that's kind of how I start the book. It's like I felt like the mole in Whack-A-Mole. But it's like how you just keep going, how you just keep going, and then all of a sudden life clicks again. And you realize that, life is worth living. I can still enjoy it and have fun. Then this one I wrote with 3 other women, 4 women.
Cool. Okay.
But as all of us women, men too, I guess, we all hit that stage in life where we're asking ourselves, okay, now what? It could be young girls coming out of college.
Sure.
Now what? It could be, now my baby is in college. Now what? So this is kind of how to address the now what's. How do you rediscover your passions? And then what do you do with them? So that you're not just sitting there stuck and continue asking now what and waiting on the what to come to you. You got to go get it.
Right.
So,
Definitely got to go get it. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Absolutely. Mike Roberts is here from Wave Max. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
You're the largest laundromat franchise in the country. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And you started it yourself?
Yes, my wife and I started.
Nice.
Yes, here in Jacksonville.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you? Are you from here?
No. Grew up in Pennsylvania. Went to school at Clemson, and we ended up down here. We moved here in 2007.
Okay. Were you always like in the entrepreneurial world, or did you go corporate and then like I'm sick and tired of working for somebody?
Yeah, I was corporate, but what I was doing, I was selling for some of the largest signage companies in the country. So I would call on franchisees and different people, and I knew a guy who owned 100 Burger Kings and another guy who owned 175 Church's Chicken. So my story is, they would always tell me they're not in the food business. They're in the people business. They're in HR business. So when I wanted to finally do my own thing, I was looking, what can I do that has virtually no people, and got into laundromats. So found my own space, built my own store, did everything, and it took off. It did really well here in Jacksonville. It's in Riverside. And then wanted to expand, and I knew enough to be dangerous with franchising, so I literally Googled franchising. Inc. magazine article came up. Gentleman, his name popped up. I called him. He picked up the phone. And within 3 months, I had signed an agreement with him. He started us, he was franchise sales. Started selling, and we currently have 49 stores open.
Cool.
We've got 98 franchisees, and the rights, 175 stores sold the rights to build. So we're the biggest.
So as the franchisor, the founder, how do you make sure they all follow the process, or do you give them a little leeway, or is there?
So I have a pretty good sized team now. We built up over the years. So I have 11 area developers around the country that are in field that work with the individual franchisees. I have people at corporate, construction manager, real estate person, et cetera, and they all make sure everyone's following the blueprint. And the 2 things I always tell the franchisees that I do is every day I minimize risk, and I protect them from themselves. And I say that jokingly, but it's true. There's many of them that think they want to do this or do that, and I've got to have them pump the brakes. Not the best decision. keep steering them in the right direction.
When you were looking for that franchise, was there other candidates other than the laundromat? Like when you were thinking about?
Well, I'd looked at car washes and decided still a lot of people. You got the big tunnel washes. They're $5-6 million. You're back to 20 people working there, wiping cars down. I wanted literally at first no people. I was looking for no people. And I saw a guy in Jacksonville had a laundromat for sale.
Okay.
I wandered in, and he said, he had just built it, and he said, I asked him how much he wanted for it. He told me, and I said, "Can I see your sales?" And he literally pulled out a yellow notebook piece of paper and had numbers written down. I said, "How can I get a loan for this?" So that's when I decided, well, with my background, I was in construction, working with real estate with those fast food chains. I can do this on my own, and
here we are.
Here we are.
That's awesome, Mike. That's very cool, man.
So
congratulations.
It's been a good journey.
And you're still going. You're still getting it out.
Yeah,
there.
my 50th store will be open this month.
Cool.
I've got another.
Awesome.
I got another 17 stores under lease negotiations right now. So
do you lease all the real estate?
They're pretty much leased, but some of the franchisees own the building. It depends on the site and the space and the financials.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Great story too, man. It's awesome, inspirational. I want to ask you, Debra, real quick. We don't have a lot of time, but how did you and how do you tell others, or how do you stop them from hating God when tragedy strikes? Because I hear that a lot. Just curious how you do that.
That one thing is you have to...
Or being mad at God. I shouldn't say hating God. Sorry.
Oh, it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. You have to work through that too. The most important thing is to be able to be real. Get real with yourself and get real with God. You don't have to pretend. He already knows your stuff.
Yep.
You don't have to pretend. He's not going to fall off the throne if you cuss him out.
Right.
He's not.
Right.
So that's the first stage, is you have to learn to get real. And, I use King David a lot for that, because he was a man, even though he said he was a man after God's own heart, he was an adulterer, he was a murderer, he was all of that. But I think the reason God called him that is because he trusted him with his emotions. A lot of the Psalms are like, kill my enemies, get rid of them. He was just really expressing his greatest hurts, his greatest pains and everything to God. And I think that's where you really have to start.
Okay. Being honest with it.
Being honest. My healing started the night I was really considering suicide, and I knew I could either check out of life or pray. That was the only two choices I had.
Right.
But when I prayed, the only thing I could say was, God, I can't trust my husband. I don't even like you. And that's where the healing started.
Yeah.
Because that's when I finally got honest that God could work with me.
Wow, that's great.
And so I help people get to that point, try to pull away all the fluff and all the things that they expect or people expect from them, just to get real.
That's great. Thank you guys for being here. Both very inspirational, man. And keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Best of luck on the expansion.
Appreciate
That's awesome.
it. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Check out their great profiles right there at the website, along with this conversation and many others at iwanttabuzz.com. So until next time, y'all stay safe and be cool out there. And we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.